Hi, thank you for joining us today. You might remember me from maybe some of our other signature workouts, the Body Blast or Cardio Core, or it might be your first time meeting me. I am Jason McPherson. I will be leading you through Level 1 Sculpt and Tone. Today I have with me Irina and Shelly. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go through our warm-up and we're gonna start with our knee ups. We're gonna run through this about 30 seconds, really trying to elevate our core temperature, activate the musculature around, help stabilize the body. We're really trying to focus on, yes, bringing the knee up, having a nice tall chest, but also let's really work on that down leg, driving that down leg into the ground, stabilizing this area right here, activating these muscles to our rear. We're gonna move on to our second exercise, which is just an extension of this. We're gonna kick out. It is a knee up with kick out. We're gonna go elongate, or we're gonna lengthen our hamstrings. And for those of you who don't know what the hamstring is, it's this muscle in behind the thigh. Again, really trying to keep a nice tall chest. We don't want to be hunched over as we do this. We're gonna kick out, shoulders back, stabilize on the down leg, and good. We're gonna move on to our third exercise, which was the lunge with reach. We're gonna step back. Our girls will turn sideways. We're gonna step back. We're gonna reach up high to the sky, and we're gonna slightly bend over to the side, really elongate our rib cage here, and return to first. We're gonna step back, keeping our knee hovering over or in the air. Good. We don't wanna have that knee touch down. We wanna keep our knees nice and healthy. Good. We're gonna keep going through this for about a minute, really trying to warm and get our core temperature elevated and warmed up. The warm-up is a very essential part of any workout program where we prepare our body for the work that is to come. We got time for one more. Step back, reach high, bend over, open this up, and good. And now we're gonna move into running on the spot. Our girls will face camera. Again, we're just gonna mimic this nice low level running pattern. We're loading our core, loading our body, getting it ready to be able to do the work ahead. If you feel you can come a little bit higher, we're gonna bring those knees up, still driving those toes into the ground. We're gonna move on now to reverse lunge in rotation and stop. Our girls will go sideways again. We're gonna step back with our right leg, nice long stride this time. Place our hand down on the ground. We're gonna rotate, follow our hands to the ceiling, and return to first. If you have to push your hand on your knee to come back up, by all means. Step back nice and long. Again, knee is hovering, it is not touching the ground. And with this one, this is a rotation. It's not a reach. Step back, hand down into 3-point stance, and we're gonna rotate towards the ceiling. Face is following, and up. Step back nice and long, really opening up that hips, that pelvic area. That area gets so tight by sitting in chairs all the time. Good, time for one more. Rotate, bring it to first position. Good, now we're gonna take a nice wide stance. We're gonna squat down, dropping our hips between our legs, bring our hands around to the outside of our ankles and look up. Keep a nice tall chest. Stand up, externally rotate, up, reach up to the sky, and if you feel nice and warm now, you can go up onto your toes. Again, ankle touch, open up those adductors or hip muscles, activate the upper back, reach up, and good. Going to inchworm now. Our girls will go from the sides, you get a nice angle and view of what we want to achieve in these warm-ups. We're gonna slide down our legs, hands on the ground, load our shoulders. When you reach that high plank position, squeeze your thighs. Good, and walk back using your shoulders. Come back up, good. Slide down, time for one more, load the shoulders. Good, activating all those muscles. Good. And we'll bring it back to camera. We're gonna go into our forearm rolls. We're gonna bring our pinkies together, Forearm roll, elbows touch, pull the hand away, externally rotate. Internally rotate, again, activating those muscles of the upper back and rotator cuff muscles. Again, this is an area that's so underutilized, it's so underactivated. And good. We'll go into our field goals now. Place our hands on our waistband here. We're gonna externally rotate, activating those muscles. We're gonna go in a slow, controlled movement pattern. We're not gonna be waving them nice and fast. Okay, so we're just gonna go slow, activate those muscles. Good. A nice tight core. We don't wanna be arching our back when we do this. Good. So we're gonna get ready for our last exercise of the warm-up, which is our jumping jacks. So again, we're gonna just dynamically explode our legs laterally. If you don't know what lateral means, it means sideways. This is not a jumping vertical movement pattern. It is a side horizontal movement pattern. This is quite the warm-up because I'm already sweating here, getting my body ready for what is to come. Time for one more, and good. Thank you for going through the warm-up. We're now move on to our Sculpt and Tone Level 1. Towel off and get a drink. Now that you've had your quick little break here and toweled off and had a drink, we're gonna pick up our CrossBell bar. We're gonna bring it up to shoulders, up over our head, and onto our back. Okay, now our first exercise will be the reverse lunge. We're gonna step back, reverse lunge, come back up, and keep changing. Now the tempo for this is different. So if you are familiar with any of our other signature series, this tempo is a 2-1-1. And what that means is a 2 slow down, there's a pause at the bottom, and then come up. I'm gonna step back slowly, pause, and come up. This is gonna be for 1 complete minute, and we will switch into the next exercise with almost no break. Slow down, pause, come back up. Pause, and come up. We're slowly lengthening the muscles. We're isometrically holding it on the down. We're gonna come down, pause, come up. Now we're gonna move into our next exercise right after this next one. Good. We're gonna pop it up and over, bring it down into our stiff-legged deadlift. We're gonna push our bum back towards the wall and come up. So again, it's 1, 2, pause, 1, 1, 2, pause, 1. I'm gonna place mine down while the girls continue going. I'm gonna come over here to Shelly and give some coaching cues. What you see with Shelly though, is that we wanna keep the bum back towards the wall. We wanna limit the knee bend. So we wanna keep this knee actually a little straighter. Good. Another key point is that we don't want the bar to drift too far over our toes. We want to keep that bar as close to our shin as possible. And that will limit the strain on the back. We're going to come down for one more. Pick it up. Good. Let's do one more together. 1, 2, 1, up. Good. We're going to bring the bar back up, over our head, onto our back. Take a nice wide stance, toes facing approximately 30 degrees out. We're gonna drop down, 1, 2 into our squat, pause, and up. 1, 2, pause, up. 1, 2, pause, up. Good, we really wanna try and get that bum back as we're bending those knees. We're gonna keep a nice tall chest. We don't want to be looking down at our toes. We don't want to be hunched over like this, getting on our toes. You should always be able to wiggle your toes because the weight is on your heels. Pause at the bottom, feel that isometric hold. Good. 1, 2, stretch that muscle. Good. We want to really activate the muscles in this. time for one more. 1, 2, pause, and up. Now you just think it's done, but keep the bar on your back. We're gonna go right into that first exercise, the reverse lunge. We're gonna step back, hold for a pause a second, and up. And step back, slowly controlling ourselves down, pause, and up. Probably the second time through now is when you're really gonna start feeling the burn of the muscles. It's a lot different when you slowly control the weight down, as opposed to some of our other signature series where you're dynamically moving as fast as you can. There you're using what they call a stretch shortening cycle. In essence, all it is think of an elastic band. Your muscles are an elastic band. So if you quickly just pull the elastic, there is stored elastic energy that will then propel you in a dynamic or quick movement. Here, it's quite different. We've got about 10 seconds left. Time for one more before we move into our stiff-legged deadlift, or what we call an SLDL. We're gonna pop this back over, bring it down, feet close together. We're gonna push our bum back out, or back out towards the wall, pause at the bottom, and up. Push your bum back, keep your knees pretty straight, but you always wanna have a slight bend of that knee. You don't wanna have it completely straight. You'll end up hurting your knees in that position. Good. Step back, there you go. Hold it, pause, feel stretch, and up. Fold over at the waist. Be a nice straight back. You don't want to hunch over as we go down. It'll just destroy your back. Like a nice chest up. Good. Slow, controlled, stretching those hamstrings, what we talked about before. Those muscles that are in the behind the leg. Oh, yeah. And good. We're gonna bring the weight back up to our shoulders here. Pop it over our head, nice and softly. Good. Take a nice wide stance. We're gonna stick our bum back, bending the knees. Slowly control, 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, put those brakes on, and up. 1, 2, pause, and up. 1, 2. This is amazing. I think by now, your legs are probably on fire. Your core is probably just aching, ready for what's to come to next. Yeah. Feel that burn. This is a different burn than we would have felt in our other signature series, the Body Blast and Cardio Core. It is quite the opposite if you feel about the structure of how it is set up and the speed, which we refer to as the tempo of the movements. Time for one more. 1, 2, hold it, hold it, hold it, and up. Good, bring it up and over. Place your CrossBell bar down. Get a quick drink. We have a 30-second break before we go on to our push section. Now you just finished your 30-second break. Now it's gone on to our push section. We're gonna pick up our CrossBell bar. We're gonna bring it up to chest height. We're gonna keep our nice feet shoulder width apart in the same tempo. We're gonna press it up. Slow down, 1, 2, pause. Not touching this. Up. 1, 2, pause. Up. 1, 2, pause. Now, a great little teaching cue on this one, and I'll come over to Shelly as the girls continue on with their tempo, is that what we want to do is we want to keep this thigh tight. So if that means bringing the knee back so it's almost straight, by all means, we want to keep our bum nice and hard, which will take the pressure off the core and the back. We don't want to have that arching of the back. We really want to focus on the top portion of our position, locking that elbow out, because that will really help stabilize this shoulder and upper back region. Let me get a couple more in here. I'm gonna pick mine up. I'm trying to match with the girls. Press it up for our last one. Bring it down, 1, 2, bring it down to the ground. And now lie on our back. We're all gonna face this way. We're gonna safely pick up our CrossBell bar, have our hands nice and narrow, elbows on the ground, tucked towards our rib cage, and we're just gonna press up. 1, 2, up. Pause at the top. 1, 2. Now I'm gonna do a progression to this. Now while the girls have their pause, I'm gonna do a tricep extension. If you feel that you can do this progression to this workout or this exercise, by all means do so. Or if you start with it and feel that you cannot continue, then go back to just the narrow press. Press up, keeping that shoulder tight. We don't want to feel like our shoulders are coming up towards our ears. Time for one more. Good, bring it slow down and good. And we're gonna put it off to the side here to our right, nice and safely. We're gonna come around into our push-ups. The girls, Irina and Shelly we're gonna do 3 different versions. I'm gonna do a full push-up. Irina will do a push-up from their knees, and Shelly will do what we're calling eccentric push-up. We're gonna come down, 1, 2, pause, up. 1, 2, pause, up. What we really wanna concentrate here is slowly bringing it down, then isometrically or holding that bottom position, keeping our legs nice and tight, not bent. We want to keep our back nice and straight, not sagging or up to the ceiling like this. Keep it nice and neutral. Good, just like a plank. Does this position look familiar? Again, continuing this on for a minute. Time for 2 more. 1, 2, hold the bottom, up. 1 more before we transition back to our first exercise. Good. We're gonna step over. We're gonna pick up our CrossBell bell bar. We're gonna bring it up to shoulder height. And we're gonna continue on for 1 minute. Press up. 1, 2, pause, up. 1, 2, pause, up. 1, 2, pause, up. Now, during the pause, we don't want you to rest it on your upper chest, but if you feel you cannot continue, then you may rest and take a quick break, or place your CrossBell bar on the ground and continue the motion without any weight. And as you progress through the system or through the programs, you will notice that your body will start to adapt. You'll be able to add more water to your CrossBells, or you may be able to last a little bit longer in each exercise. Got time for 1 more. Good, press it up. Good, 1, 2, pause, and then bring it down in front of you safely with a nice straight back. I'm gonna come down to the ground, facing this way. Knees comfortably bent. We're gonna pick up our CrossBell bar. Narrow as narrow. We're gonna press up, pause, and slow down. 1, 2, up, pause, 1, 2, up. I will add the progression into mine, or do the extension. Good. We wanna really keep our elbows tight to our rib cage, in line with our shoulders. We don't want the elbows bellowing out. try and get the work done. We want to do quality of movement, not the quantity of the movement. The quantity will come as you progress through the program. You will notice that you get a little bit better every time. Good. I think we have time for about 2 more. Come on, give me 1 more. Good. And we're gonna get ready for our 3rd exercise and last one of this particular group. Good. We're gonna place our CrossBell bar down safely. We're gonna come around into our push-up position. Hands a little wider. It's still contacting the mat. And 1 minute worth of push-ups, whatever version you think you can handle. 1, 2. Good. You should be shaking by this point. I know I am. I'm hearing some groaning over here from the girls. But if you feel that you have to stop partway through, maybe regress and change to a different version, maybe drop to your knees, or if you start in my particular version of the push-up and do the eccentric loading, the lengthening of the muscle, and then pop your knees down and push up. And then straighten out, and eccentric down, good, pause, knee down, good, up. We have about time for about 2 more. I want 2 good ones. 1, 2, good, 1 more, 1 more. 1, 2, and good. Shake those arms out. Okay, towel off, get a drink, come back for the pull section of Sculpt and Tone. I'm glad you came back after that push section. Now we're on to our pull section of the Sculpt and Tone Level 1. We're gonna pick up our CrossBell bars with an underhand grip, bring it up properly. We're gonna go into our biceps curl, same tempo, up. 1, 2, good. Up, pause, 1, 2. Up, pause, 1, 2. Good. Keep going through this tempo. Really trying to get those biceps rolling. Again, it's a nice core activation exercise too. We want to keep our legs nice and tight, our quads or our thighs nice and squeezed, our bum nice and squeezed, our core muscles, our abs nice and tight. We don't want to arch back when we do it as we start to get tired. If you feel you start getting tired, just slide your arm back a little bit, and that will make it just a little bit easier. It will make a more restricted movement, but it won't be as far away from your body, okay? So we all wanna get through this tempo of 2, 1, 1. Good, time for 1 more. Slow down, this should be burning right now. Good. We're gonna switch our hands to an overhand grip. I'm gonna bring them a little closer to our shoulder height. We're gonna pull up, good, and down. We want to activate our neck muscles, our trap muscles. This movement will also activate the side portion of our shoulder called the lateral or the side deltoid. Good. We want to elevate our shoulders, pull up. Good. Nice and slow, controlled movement. Pause. 1, 2. Again, continuing on for 1 minute. If you have to feel you have to stop or just pause a little bit longer, maybe skip a rep with the rest of us, by all means do so. Your body will be adapting every time you run through this workout or as you progress using our other signature body blast and cardio core workouts. We have time for 1 more. Pull, pause, squeeze it, and down. Now we're gonna widen our hand grip. Good. We're gonna sit back, bend our knees to a bent over position. We're gonna pull our shoulder blades together. Good. Pull up in 1, pause, and slow down in 2. Up quickly, 1, 2. I'm gonna continue on and go over to Irina over here and work on her form, see if she needs anything. But what Irina could do here to stress her back out less is she can keep the bar a little bit closer to her midline. She can bend her knees a little bit more, crouch down, and pull with her shoulder blades. Hold that. Good, and slowly let the shoulder blades open up. She's gonna pull, squeeze them together, and down. We don't wanna be pulling with our arms or our biceps. We wanna be pulling with our back muscles, our upper back muscles. Let me get back down here, get a couple more in. I'm gonna pick it up safely, get it bent over. I'm gonna pull, 1, 2, give me one more, pull, and good. We're gonna go to our first exercise. Come back up. We're gonna go underhand grip into our biceps curl. We're gonna pull up, 1, 2, good. 1, pause, 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Pause, squeeze that bicep, squeeze that arm. Really activate those muscles in the front part of the arm. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the bicep. Good, we wanna keep our legs nice and tight. We don't wanna keep them relaxed, because then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stress our back out. What we're gonna notice is that we're gonna start arching our back up to get this here. All right, a nice tall chest, squeeze our legs. They could be almost straight or straight, but I want the muscles active. I want them squeezed. I know we're doing a bicep curl. We want to keep our legs tight and our bum tight and our abs tight. Time for one more. Slow, 1, 2, good. We're going to reach over and do an overhand grip. We're going to bring our hands closer together. Again, keeping our legs tight. We're going to pull the weight up. Good, pause and slow down. We're going to bring it up and down. What you notice with this workout is there a specific reason why we do the exercises that we do. It's called pre-exhaustion. In the 3 exercises, we do 2 easier exercises and then finish off with more compound or full body or at least multiple joint exercise. So we pre-exhaust the big muscles before we actually get to do the big muscles. This really allows us to get as much work in less time. And that's the key with a sculpt and tone workout. Get as many exercises or as many reps or as much time under tension in the least amount of time. And that's what we all struggle with, is time to get our workouts in. Good, now let's switch over. We're gonna take a wider grip. We're gonna go spread our feet just a little bit, push our bum back, bend our knees, get in that bent over position. Gonna pull, squeezing our shoulder blades, pause, and 1, 2. We don't want the bar to drift too far in front of our toes. That will put too much stress on our low back. And usually the low back is the limiting factor in this bent over position. So keep the bar as close to the instep of your foot. And what that is the top portion of your foot, generally where you feel that kind of bump where it starts to rise up like a hill. Good, we want to squeeze those shoulder blades, pause, and lower, 1, 2. Again, a minute is a long time. We're not just repping things out to get as many reps in as possible. We're trying to really control the weight with our muscles. Can you give me one more? Good, and slow, and good. Put our bar down, stand up. We have now finished our level 1 sculpt and tone. Thank you for joining us. We're now gonna move on to our cool down. I want to thank you for joining us for our cool down section. This is probably one of the more important sections, so I hope you continue to do it after your workout every single time. What we want to do is we want to bring our body back to its center point, We want to have a dynamic workout. We want to get ready and prepare our body for the next workout for the day ahead. So we want to come out, we're going to take our breath, we're going to breathe up, in through our nose and out through our mouth. Breathe in. Again, we're just controlling our breathing, bring it down. Give me one more time. Now we bring it down onto our knees and onto our mat. We're gonna take our hands and clasp them behind our back, pushing down. We want to elongate our neck up to the sky. Feel the stretch in your neck. Push down with our shoulders, elongate, elongate. We always want to lengthen these muscles now that we've had a workout where we've actually worked them very hard and tightened them and got them short, and we want to lengthen them. And good. I'm going to bring our right arm across. Again, we don't want to have our shoulder up by our ear. We want to push it down. We're going to pull across our body. Feel the stretch in behind our shoulder. Feel that lengthening behind our shoulder, in through our back. Good, we're gonna bring it to the other side. Just like all exercises, we're always gonna do one side and then the other. Again, keep the shoulder pressed down. Elongate or lengthen the muscles of the rear part of the shoulder. So we spend a lot of time in all of our workouts working those muscles. And when they work, they tend to shorten on us. And good. What we wanna do now is bring it down to child's pose. We're gonna rock back, bring our bum to our heels. And at this point, as we breathe, we wanna lengthen our lats, which is our back muscles. You'll feel a nice stretch in that back. Again, continually to breathe. And good. I'm gonna rock back up now to what we call pigeon. I'm gonna lengthen my right leg. I'm gonna internally bring my foot or swing it inward, and I'm gonna just rock back. Again, placing weight on the hip, but I'm keeping my forearms down as to not put too much weight on my hip. Feel a nice stretch in behind there. Okay, I'm gonna come back up. I'm gonna switch sides. I'm gonna swing the leg around as I rock back in that position. Good. If you don't have the mobility that I do, if this works good for you as well, by all means, keep your hands straight. If you can get down a little bit further, go right ahead. And good. I'm gonna come and swing back around to what we call half kneel. I'm gonna push my hips through. Good, I'm gonna reach my left arm up, and I'm gonna bring it over, but I'm gonna brace on my knee here, because I wanna stretch, I wanna lengthen. I'm not activating like what we do in our warm-ups. Okay, I want to lengthen all the muscles now. I'm going to switch sides. Again, keep this hand here to brace. Swing up and just bend over a little bit. Again, you're going to feel the stretch in through the hip flexors, which is this place right down here, because we all have a tendency to have tight hip flexors. Feel my rib cage expand and open up. And good. I want to thank you for joining us for the cool down portion of the workout. Again, this is one of the more important parts of your workout, so please, if you can, make the time to do the cool down, because it will help prepare your body for tomorrow's workout. Thank you, I'm Jason McPherson, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.